Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let me show you how you can disable Command-Q so you don't accidentally quit apps. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So let's say you want to disable Command-Q. Command-Q is the universal keyboard shortcut for quitting an app. There are various reasons why you may want to prevent yourself from accidentally hitting Command-Q. For most users this is not a problem. I've never had an issue where I accidentally hit Command-Q. But for some users, maybe they have different typing styles, maybe they're using a different keyboard, a non-US keyboard, and maybe there are apps they're using that have shortcuts that are very close to Command-Q, and they find they accidentally hit Command-Q, quit an app, and then either lose their work or the windows they have open, say in a browser, are closed and hard to get back. First let me show you ways that you can keep Command-Q and still recover from accidentally pressing it. Then let me show you how to remap Command-Q on a per app basis. If there's just one or two apps where this happens to you, you can just prevent it from happening in that app. And then I'll show you a way to universally set it so that Command-Q doesn't quit apps. First let's start off here in Safari. And notice that if I were to use Command-Q here, you can see the window I had open with two tabs open goes away. But if I launch Safari again, it comes right back. Command-Q really wasn't that big of a deal. If I accidentally used it, I could get right back to where I was. And the same thing in Pages. I have a document open here. Let me even create a new document and I won't even save it. So the document's still unsaved. If I were to use Command-Q here, it appears that I've closed that first document and lost the document I never saved. But if I relaunch Pages, you'll see that everything comes back just the way I had it. The reason this happens is because in System Preferences under General, I've got the checkbox here, Close Windows when quitting app, turned off. If you have that turned off, then apps will remember the windows that were open, even unsaved documents, and simply launching them again restores the app. It's almost like a deeper version of hiding the app. Launching it again will simply restore what's there. If I turn this on, look what happens in the same situation. When I quit Safari and then launch Safari again, you can see it doesn't reopen those tabs. However, Safari actually has a special function. I could go into History and then reopen the last closed window or reopen all windows from the last session. And I can get those back. In Pages, if I were to quit, first it's going to ask me if I want to save this document since I haven't saved it yet. I'll say no, delete it. The other document was actually auto-saved because most modern apps will auto-save documents. So if I were to relaunch Pages here, it doesn't open that window again. But if I were to go back to that document, it would open it up and I shouldn't lose any changes. So now you see how it might not be that big a deal if you accidentally use Command-Q. So let's say you still want to disable it. As a matter of fact, some apps like Google Chrome actually have Command-Q as warned before quitting. So if I use Command-Q here, it's going to tell me I need to hold Command-Q for a longer time before quitting. That's a pretty major app that recognizes that sometimes people accidentally press Command-Q. But how to prevent that in Safari? In Safari, Command-Q is quit and just quickly pressing Command-Q will do that. But you can go into System Preferences and modify keyboard shortcuts. A lot of you know that you could add keyboard shortcuts, but you can also modify them. So I'm going to go into the keyboard section here, go to Shortcuts, go to App Shortcuts, and I'm going to add an app shortcut. Now the menu item in Safari for quitting is Quit Safari. You have to match the menu name exactly. So you can't just use quit. It actually has to be Quit space Safari. So I'll type that in. I'm going to set that not to all applications but just Safari. And I'm going to change the keyboard shortcut to make it Command Option Q and add. Now I'm going to go back into Safari. If I look in the Safari menu, I can see that Quit Safari is Option Command Q. So using Command Q does nothing. Option Command Q will quit. So now basically here in System Preferences you could add more apps to this. Each app has to be done individually because it's not just a quit command. It's Quit Safari or Quit Pages. So if you find there's one app or maybe two or three apps where you accidentally do this, you could just add a few keyboard shortcuts here, remap them to something like Option Command Q, and take care of the problem. But let's say that you want to just disable Command-Q across everything. Well, there's no way to do that since all of the menu items are different. They have different names with the name of the app in them. But you can set another keyboard shortcut to Command Q, and as long as it's the type of keyboard shortcut that will be looked at first, it will override Command Q. For instance, let's go into Launchpad here, and there's a Show Launchpad shortcut. I'm going to turn that on and I'm going to set it to Command Q. Now I'll go into Safari here and try to use Command Q. So the system is first using the Launchpad shortcut and it never gets to Safari. I hit Escape here and you can see Safari has not been quit. Quit Safari still shows as Command Q, but the command never reaches Safari. And now if I want to quit Safari, I need to go to Safari, quit Safari here in the menu to do it. And this happens in every app. The Pages menu, Quit Pages, still shows Command Q, but if I try to use Command Q, it will bring up Launchpad instead, and Pages doesn't quit. I have to do that manually there in the menu. The same thing for Reminders. Command Q doesn't work. I have to go to the menu. Even something like Calculator, Command Q won't work. I have to go to Quit Calculator. So the idea here is to make it so Command Q doesn't actually quit the app and maybe give you something that changes your behavior. If having Launchpad show up is kind of annoying, you need to either use Command Q again or the Escape key to get out of it, then hopefully it might break you of the habit of using Command Q at the same time as preventing you from accidentally using it. You could set this to all sorts of other things. For instance, under Mission Control you've got Show Notification Center. You could set that to Command Q. Switch to Desktop 1 might be Command Q if you're not using multiple spaces. Under Accessibility you could use one of the things here like say Invert Colors and have your screen invert colors every time you use Command Q. You probably don't want to change something that you actually use. For instance, you probably use Command Space for Spotlight. You don't want to set that to Command Q and then train yourself to using Command Q for Spotlight. You want to pick something that you wouldn't normally use at all. And to disable this you can just turn off Show Launchpad. One of the things I like about using Launchpad is there are only 2 items here. So using Restore Default is pretty easy. Whereas something with a lot more items, if you've customized something else, using Restore Default means you need to then reset some other things here. So if you have the problem where you sometimes accidentally use Command Q, hopefully one of the things I've showed you here will help you out. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.